Whoa, 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 welcome to Chats and Facts, the Qrivia cast. Harley, what movie are we doing this week?
Mario Bros. But which one?
Well, we have done a Qrivia for both, so that is a legitimate question for once.
I only ask legitimate questions because you only write legit questions.
Whoa. Well, it is the 2023 movie.
Yes.
Or is it? Discussion to ensue.
The difference between 1993 and 2023 is less than people want to admit.
30 years. Most of your age.
Christ. You're just going to come for me like that?
Yep, I'm choosing violence
In
today.
my own home.
Yep, sorry.
Well, since we were both born in the 90s, we did watch the original Super Mario Bros. Movie at some point because we both rented VHSs.
Yes, we may have even received some of them for our birthdays.
We might have even caught this movie on Win TV once or twice.
One of us may have had the all-pink VHS for the original Barbie movie, Barbie and the Nutcracker.
It was slapping, though. The pink VHS, not the movie. I can't remember the movie.
It was also slapping. Anyway, so...
I got to see this movie.
Which movie?
Both, but I got to go home early from work one day because I was unwell-ish and had 90 minutes to lay on the couch, so a Mario happened to me.
Now, do you remember the thing that preceded you watching this movie?
You sending me a message going, Harley, watch the movie.
So to paraphrase more directly, it was, I saw it was on Netflix, I watched it, and then sent you a message saying, the new Mario movie is on Netflix. Next message, it's done. Next message, watch it.
I did see that it popped up on Netflix. I'm like, oh, fine, I'll get to it eventually. And your message may eventually come a lot sooner.
Yay! So, what's your rating?
How dare you put me on the spot for something I should have clearly prepared ahead of time?
We literally discussed it prior to hitting record. I'm willing to hop in with a solid 7 out of 10.
That's an incredibly solid score. Are you being generous?
No, I actually shaved a little bit off, if I'm being honest, because I think there are genuinely people out there who would give it a much higher score. I enjoyed it. Probably wouldn't watch it again. There were some things I loved about it, but for me, it was a little bit too heavy-handed on the the references. Ew.
Do you remember this?
Hey, do you remember amore? It's like a big pizza pie in your eye. It's amore.
An eel?
It's I really, really loved the game. Yeah, just blowing straight past it.
Yeah,
that was amazing. The toads outside the castle being like, your princess is in another castle. That's when it started pushing it for me.
Too clever by half.
Look, I liked it, but they were a little bit heavy-handed at times.
Oh, absolutely. This got a 3 out of 5 from me, which I'm probably rounding up a little bit there, but I don't do half stars, so I'm just going to deal with it. Because it is just a fun adventure movie for the most part, but oh boy, is it real thin in spots, and some of that fan service, like you said, was pretty grating. And there's just some baffling decisions. Hey, Emily, you want to go driving later? Take on me. Why? Why did that happen?
Yeah, I
love that song, but why?
Want to know how much of the reported $100 million budget went towards music? Because we do have a very impressive soundtrack on this.
It's almost a jukebox musical. It's insane.
Mario definitely spent their jukebox money.
The one that, look, the Take On Me one was just, why is this here? It doesn't make any sense.
We needed to get from one scene to another.
As someone who is an amateur, movie editor, there's other ways you can do that. The one that baffled me, though, I can't believe this movie is over. How do we show it's over? Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long, so long. Where did we go wrong? Hey, Luigi! What are you doing? It's the end of the movie.
I mean, but there was another thing rounding out the end of the movie that was also in the middle. That was great. Peaches, 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 peaches,
Well, when you
peaches,
pay for
peaches.
Jack Goddamn Black.
I love you. Both my cats were harassed consistently with that for a week post viewing. One of them has PTSD now.
Oof. Peaches, TSD.
Yeah,
That doesn't scan.
No, that took a second to land and it hit well. Good joke.
Hit like a bullet bill in the eye.
Like the bullet bill to Brooklyn.
Speaking of egregious music stings, hey, we have to go 3 blocks away and we can't use our car. So what are we going to do, Mario? We're going to have a pretty cool, actually 2.5D sequence. Oh, but won't people get bored if there's nothing to listen to? Don't worry. The music budget's got us covered. Bonham. No! Bonham. Sleep! To Brooklyn! It's because they're from Brooklyn. It's actually a very subtle nod. It's like how the curtains were blue because he's sad.
Don't even get me started on this, but also you cannot beat Brooklyn Nine-Nine's no sleep till Brooklyn use.
I can't remember that off the top of my head.
Holt is trying to avoid getting back to New York because he's up for the commissioner's job, but he's currently in with one of the mobsters who helped get Jake and Rosa out of prison. So he's trying to avoid it without actually talking about it. So he does a whole heap of things. And then, at the last minute, the squad is like, but we can do it. And then they have a really fun montage after Amy type A's this into reality. And the no sleep till Brooklyn use was, condensed and perfect.
The 2 Brooklyn Nine-Nine music cues that always triggered me was when they're in the helicopter coming over the hill to catch the bank robber case, and it's rap-a-ba-doo, and it's one half of the 2 songs that are sampled for John Cena's theme song, which I didn't know was sampled. In hindsight, it's obvious, but I just never looked it up, and so that was wildly confusing. And fun fact, the opening music to Brooklyn Nine-Nine, that is stock music, because it's used in a scene in Community when Britta just needs some music to play on a boombox.
And now it's going to be iconic forever.
And how?
So on the back of the music, so Jack Black actually co-wrote Peaches.
I'm shocked that he co-wrote it and it just wasn't something he improvised.
I think that's maybe what his co-writing might be. So it was officially released with a music video. And so it actually went to number 61 on the iTunes streaming chart.
Emily, Peaches is nominated for a Golden Globe.
Maybe the timeline's healing?
Maybe. I mean, I'm just Ken's going to take it. Not that golden statuette shows mean anything.
Okay, but a brief nod to the absolute glorious meme that's out there at the moment. I hope you've seen it, of I'm just Ken and then the I'm just Pete.
No.
Have you? Oh, you've not seen the I'm Just Pete?
No.
Pete Davidson, I'm sure it was on SNL, did a parody.
Yep.
And it's like, so for the more, normal part of the meme, you'll have I'm Just Ken. And then for the, absolute drop kick portion, it'll be like, I'm just Pete and I love jugs. I'm mentally ill and I'm on drugs. Relatable. So yeah, we've been blessed with some good movie music this year.
Have we?
Yeah.
Remember when movies used to have tie-in singles?
Iconic.
Barbie kind of did a little bit.
Yeah. Barbie had some straight bangers coming out of it. So you've got the disco song from Dua Lipa.
Dance the Night.
Yeah. And then you have Billie Eilish's song, What Was I Made For?
So I, being a music-y person, every now and then I listen to the charts.
Listen to the charts.
Ages ago, I listened to the top 10 on Spotify or whatever, and...
Old Taylor Swift.
Well, this is how long ago it was. The number 1 single was Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo.
So we're talking years here.
Yeah, it's a perfectly serviceable song, but the reason I'm bringing it up is because of the top 10 singles, the two I remember, well, I remember two and a half. I remember Ariana Grande had something that was like, okay, well, I recognize your voice, but this is blah. But Dua Lipa was the only song, I think it was from Future Nostalgia off the top of my head, but whatever song of hers it was, it slapped. Like the instrumental, like, I don't know where the hell Dua Lipa came from, but she's rocking it. Like, to the point where my phone's like, hey, did you know Dua Lipa has a new single out called Houdini? I'm like, yeah, well, fuck it, put it on, let's spin it.
I do like Houdini and just on the back of driver's license, Guts. Really great.
Interesting.
I kind of love that. You've got the piano leading up into the body of the song.
Yeah.
There's some other songs on there that are just great. But yes, apparently Dua Lipa is about to move away from her disco sound into something new.
It makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, I will mourn some of the best disco music that we've had recently.
But Houdini's... So, Dua Lipa... There's a couple different thoughts I have here. Taylor Swift is the biggest artist in the world. There isn't, any contention there.
Nope.
Billie Eilish and Olivia Rodrigo are doing the sort of... they're probably in their early 20s by now, but sort of the pop princessy angle. But they're both taking their music in more interesting directions than just, standard label garbage.
I don't know that I'd call Billie Eilish pop princessy.
Well, that's fair. But to her credit and Olivia Rodrigo's as well, they're not just doing standard label pop stuff. What Was I Made For is actually just a really good song.
Yeah.
That made it onto some of my playlists for a bit. Bit of a... Not the best song to come on shuffle when you're just like, I'm going to walk down and get a coffee. It's going to be great. What was I made for?
Bam, depression.
Brap, brap. Sadness.
Brap, brap. The sound of the sadness. Brap, brap. The sound of the sadness.
Okay, but seriously, the backing synth in Houdini, though, is just the chord progression to I'm still standing more than I ever did.
Why would you point that out to me?
But to it, she's not going to top Tay-Tay, but Dua Lipa seems to be the only person who's pushing like pop forward, because Olivia and Billie Eilish aren't doing like mainstream pop, as you pointed out.
I would say Selena Gomez has some more pop.
That's fair. I don't listen to a lot of pop off the top.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So Selena Gomez had Single Soon. And that is just really fun to sing along. And there was a trend on TikTok about people in relationships singing about I'll be single soon, with absolutely just acknowledging that they are in steady, healthy relationships.
That's fair.
So that's fun.
When We Were Young by Miley Cyrus came on a lot, because I'd walk into places in New Zealand that had the radio going, but it was like the one song on the radio.
Oh yeah, Miley Cyrus drops anything, it's going to get very heavy rotation, especially after Flowers. I went on a internet segue the other day because it was some clickbaity article. It's like, Miley siding with her mum, won't go to her father's for Christmas. And I was like, well, I have 5 minutes to burn.
Yeah.
So I clicked on that, went through the rabbit hole, and basically I found out that Dominic Purcell is now Miley Cyrus's stepfather, who is Heatwave from The Flash and the older brother from Prison Break. And now I'm just like... So Heatwave and Captain Cold were in the same room as Miley Cyrus for a wedding, presumably.
And Dolly Parton.
Yeah, and so that's absolute banger.
Why are you wearing that parka to the wedding, Mr. Miller? Because I want to. Yeah. That's the best Captain Cold and Captain Hot I can do.
Fun fact, Dominic Purcell is Australian.
Hell yeah.
So we can 100% claim him. I believe he was on Neighbours, so it's legit.
Rite of passage for foreign successful actors.
And do you know what another rite of passage is? DK Donkey Kong. The rap is iconic, and I've also just been shown the meme of, is it Lanky Kong reacting to his verse.
Oh no, I haven't seen that one.
Oh my God. We need to pause the podcast so I can show you this because it is amazing.
I've also seen a different one where it's like DK Donkey Kong, Cranky's dead.
And a war of succession starts now.
The theme song to Succession though is a straight banger. What a piano piece.
Can you tell one or more of the people at this table have ADHD?
Hey, Facebook, delete this photo. I'm in it. I don't like it.
Self-burn. Ooh, they're rare.
So, movie critic Bob last name, whom I'm familiar with because he and Henry Gilbert do the podcast What a Cartoon, where they go through the cartoon history. I both follow them online onto socials, and at some point Bob had a very, very good point. I cannot remember this man's last name, but follow him on @BobServer if you really want to. He's cool. In his opinion, the Mario movie is like 10 different first drafts, all just Frankenstein together.
I can see that very
You really
clearly.
Can.
Because it really gets going, and the initial Brooklyn setting, like all of that is fairly coherent and makes sense. You know, they've just dropped their life savings on this. They're trying to establish themselves as plumbers outside a company that they've just left. You know, they get put on a job that goes awry for comical reasons. And then, you know, something has to make the other world plot happen.
Pushes up glasses. The inciting incident.
A dog getting grumpy, its bone got broken.
No, that's not the inciting incident. That's just, the fun stuff that happens in the movie.
Yeah. Sorry,
Them falling
inciting
into the
incident.
wall pipes.
Someone needing to quote unquote save Brooklyn. And so when this happened, I started to get suspicious. And now those suspicions didn't go away. So 2023, we have a Mario movie. And so we have two brothers, two plumbers, trying to make it out in their own world. You know, they're up against some sort of competition.
Yeah,
looking
bigger
at you,
entity.
Spike. Yeah, and then so something happens, you know, underground in Brooklyn that they have to be called to.
Specifically,
and then,
they fall into a magical... Well, hang on, sorry. Is both Mario movies just an isekai adventure?
You're going to have to explain what an isekai adventure is.
It's the genre of anime where an ordinary protagonist falls into a magical world.
Oh, like...
Mark and Awakens romance.
Yeah. But yes, you have jumped to the point that I'm trying to make, which is so much of, especially the first half of the 2023 the Super Mario Bros. Movie, is just a copy, paste, and lightly paraphrased from the
can I copy your
1993.
homework?
Yeah, but just don't make it look obvious.
But you were right. Not only are you right, you're even more right. Because how do both movies end?
It pops back into the other world.
Yes.
Some amount of damage is done. Rip Scarpelli for 1993. And then they're able to resolve it, you know, and they're able to, you know, go back to the other world eventually. You know, Daisy comes back in the last minute in the 1993 film.
Why do I hear boss music? It's Daisy!
And so there was just so much there as, you know, we palette swapped princesses between the movies. Mm-hmm. But, you know, they get, you know, underground. They get taken to the different land. You know, there is a ruler who needs to be taken down. Mm-hmm. You know, they work towards that with the princess in tow. You know, trying to save the land.
Yoshi gets a bit part. There's concerning fashion.
Yes, all of these things.
And power-ups.
However, nobody walked like a dinosaur in the 2023 movie, which is probably my biggest critique.
What if I want to get on the floor?
Well, not in this movie. My brother, my friend.
But quickly, though.
Yes.
Walk the Dinosaur versus Baltimore's, what's that song called? Jungle Boy? Oh, 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 oh. Okay, you don't know that. Let's move on from this bit. It's dead in the water.
Anyway, I don't know enough. So all I'm saying is that, okay, no matter how hard Bob Hoskin tried, I think just Mario needed to be animated.
I tend to agree. I think they did a reasonable job. Although I can't remember if this is true or not, but apparently the 93 script, there's two things I remember. Firstly, the 93 script might have been just like a weird sci-fi movie, and then the studio was like, oh, but we're making a Mario movie, so we'll just combine the scripts.
Did you want to see weird tiny head Goombas? Did you want Toad to be playing a harmonica and get de-evolved?
No.
Well, that all happened.
But the swaying scene was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Apparently there's either a fan theory or an actual theory that the 93 Mario movie, at the end, Spike and what's his name, the other one, are pitching the two Koopas are pitching to Nintendo like a movie based around the Marios. And allegedly the movie we just watched is that movie because a lot of the stuff was like lost in translation.
Well, they did have the police car chase, which I can see translating to the carts.
Yeah.
Don't know where the Kong element necessarily is mistranslated.
At the end of the 93 movie, they're talking to Nintendo executives.
Yeah.
And they pitched them the 93 movie.
Oh,
and so the 93 movie that we just watched was the lost in translation based on what they were saying, Iggy and Spike.
Oh.
There's so many Spikes.
Yeah, it's a nod to...
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, of course.
Nope. Well, nope. It's a nod to... So Spike and the Wrecking Crew is an element from one of the earlier games, which we were actually talking about, the origin. It's like, why is it always Brooklyn? Why is it always Brooklyn? That is actually specified. So Italian... It was identified as Italian first, and then New York, specifically Brooklyn. So that is all game lore. That is all accurate. So it wasn't just that they did it in 1993 and then they decided to run with it. However, there are some elements which were cemented in the 1993 movie and then they have run with it. However, did we need Chris Pratt voicing Mario?
If you've already watched the Qrivias on this, then you very, very, very well understand my feelings about the matter.
What are your feelings?
Charles Martinet's voiced Mario for 30 goddamn years. I'm aware he's voiced Luigi and many other people in the Mushroom Kingdom. He's a voice actor. Just let him act with his voice for this goddamn movie. It would have been such a home run. Because here's the thing. I like Illumination. The Despicable Me franchise has some fun movies in it. Despicable Me 2 is just a straight up great film. They're pretty good at animation. Their stuff, some people can take or leave the computer generated animation style, but they do it really well, and I really like the look of their stuff, and that's all great. But putting Chris Pratt as the lead in your movie these days is just the lamest dumb brain executive take. He's like, look, you should never think about a person or a race or a culture as the default, but when you start a new movie script draft, it just comes with Chris Pratt. You have to specifically Control F Chris Pratt, delete all. But it's just new script, interior, sun-drenched suburban supermarket, Pratt Chrisman, 42, hot, doesn't know it.
Realistically, we have James Gunn to blame for this.
For making us like and respect, well, not respect, but making Chris Pratt presentable.
Yeah, because he's doing his thing in Parks and Recreation. That's fine. He's chuffing along just nicely. And then he's cast as Star-Lord. And James Gunn was like, no, my dude, you don't need to change yourself or lose a weight. Chris Pratt did anyway. And then, everyone was like, ooh, what's the Guardians of the Galaxy? And then it was, hit.
Yeah.
And then we haven't been able to get rid of Chris Pratt since, which, for his action dude bro arena of Jurassic World and the Guardians of the Galaxies, go ham. But I really lost the plot when he was cast as Garfield.
That's real life being too much of a joke that parody can't compete with it anymore.
You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to have my little boomer rant because when I was growing up, I had Bill goddamn Murray as my Garfield because he got confused about which Cohen was writing a script.
Don't we all? I mean, I can easily understand how you confuse Joel and Ethan Cohen, and their average movies for whichever Cohen directed the Garfield movie. And that opinion's going to get me flamed online.
Congratulations if you've made it this far to the podcast. Start flaming Harley.
Okay, let's make a very brief segment here. Harley's hot takes.
Pew, 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 pew.
Fargo is overrated. I watched the movie.
Jesus.
It's fine.
Okay, you were already going to get flamed. Do you really want to dip your toe into this right now?
Well, it's Joel and Ethan Coen. That's the only.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the only Joel and Ethan Coen brothers movie I've seen.
Man, don't expect me to know these sorts of things.
I am bad at things and watch too much video essay. It's just pumped into my brain. Like, I can tell you that the best part of a different Coen brothers movie is the scene that Sam Raimi directed, because Patrick H. Willems just, like, you know,
Okay, so I was going to...
injected that knowledge into my brain.
I was about to mention, unless Patrick H. Willems has told me to care about it, I haven't cared about it yet, okay? So I'm, like, Patrick H. Willems put me onto Paddington.
Yeah. Shout out to Patrick H. Willems and Paddington, both real ones.
Oh, iconic.
Every now and then, I'll rewatch Patrick H. Willems' Why Batman, The Mask of the Phantasm is really good video. Because occasionally, confirmation bias is really nice.
Yeah, which came first, your love of that movie or Patrick H. Willems telling you to love that movie?
I'd watched the movie first and I really liked it, but then I forgot about it for like 8 years. And then, like,
then you told me to watch it, and then I did on Res one day. Residence, as I have been told. Not everyone is familiar with that.
common Australian parlance.
Yes, so res or residence, where you live on campus at university. I was watching it one day, and of course the fire alarm went. I was like, oh, fine, burn me. Let me just watch Batman as I go.
And for all you movie makers out there, Batman Mask of the Phantasm is like 70-something minutes, including credits.
Yeah, so that's one thing that does happen with the animated Mario compared to the 1993. So 1993 came in at 104 by, like, minute-wise.
Yeah.
By no means a long movie. But then we have a breezy 92 minutes for the Mario movie, which I really appreciate, you know, in this time of 3-hour movies and when am I going to pee or am I diapering up. 92 minutes I can really appreciate, and everybody else must have appreciated that as well, because you know what the best thing you can do with $100 million is?
Make a movie that has a high return.
Yeah, you can invest it into the Mario franchise and get $1.3 billion out of it.
Okay, I'm starting to see why stupid movie executives can occasionally learn the wrong lesson.
Yeah, so we have two, game franchises. Well, Barbie isn't really a game, but, like, you have two play-based franchises who have just been the absolute kings of cinema this year. Definitely going to learn the wrong lessons.
Hasbro Cinematic Universe.
But I think it's just really nice that we had something that was fun, and, like, the nods and winks in this was a little bit too heavy-handed for me. And while I love Mario, it was not necessarily the thing I was connected most to growing up.
Yeah.
But something I absolutely adore, for example, is so I'm a massive fan of the Ghostbusters franchise. Exactly. And so Ghostbusters Afterlife was probably a little bit too heavy-handed for some people, in the same way that I find this movie too heavy-handed with references. But for me, and especially like the memorializing of Egon and Harold Ramis, that was beautiful for me. But so in my appreciation of that film, but also understanding that there was a lot of fan service in it, I can see how, while I'm not completely on board with everything in the Mario movie, that may have been way up some people's alleys.
It's interesting because fan service can fall into a couple different categories. Like, fan service by its nature generally is either, oh, I remember that thing, or you don't notice it because you don't recognize it. But for the people who do recognize it, it sort of falls into two camps of how much sense it makes in the world. Like, Mario's phone rings, Mario just needs a ringtone, and rather than marimba, you just do the GameCube noise. That's diegetic. That makes sense. It flows. It's cool. It's a nice shout out.
Two toads who don't want to let a rando into the castle being like, your princess is in a different castle. That's fun. That makes sense.
Princess Peach, who is the sovereign ruler of a nation, deciding that, oh, even though I have to go on a journey in the morning for the sake of my nation's very existence, rather than getting a good night's sleep or setting off early, I'm going to train this random man who's bumbled through my castle.
Maybe she understands that she's going to be too stressed to sleep, and so she's just going to, get another cadet in the war against Bowser.
She has soldiers. Or at least
they're toads.
toads.
They're all toads.
I mean, I can understand why Princess Peach takes an interest in Mario because he's another human, which is rare in that world. But it's just... Oh, hey, Mario, it's time to do a Mario thing. Here's a course. Here's a power-up.
Oh, the thing that was a little bit for me, as someone who is having a brother and would worry about his well-being in this situation.
Hey.
Yeah. The fact that, Mario arrives and is like, my brother, Toad's just told me he's in the Darklands. And it's very much a vibe of he could be dead any second. So we're just not going to...
Remember how we had a sense of urgency and then just sort of abandoned it because they have to go on a magical adventure?
Yeah, and so Peach is made aware of where Luigi almost certainly is. But it's still like, we're going to stick to the plan. We're going to go talk to the Kongs. He'd probably be fine. He probably didn't land directly in lava. So that for me, I was like... I feel like we should be way more worried about Luigi right now.
Yeah, in the script writing sense, you've built in your stakes and sense of urgency. There's an impending invasion. There's Mario's brother. And then they're just chilling at the top of a toadstool being like, hey, are we meet cuting right now? Shh, save it for the sequel.
And that's the thing is I actually think at least one night passes on their trip to the Jungle Kingdom.
Yep.
Because she gets the fire plant, lights a fire, and that's a whole thing. So, there was a different way this movie went where Luigi just died.
Yep. And there's another version where it took much, much, much less time for Peach to get back from the Donkey Kingdom than it took to go there because they just drove back. She's a royal. She has access to so many planes, trains, and automobiles.
Oh, yeah. Imagine if she had driven there.
Yep.
Because it takes them less than a day to drive back via the Rainbow Road.
I think it only takes as long as it takes so the sun can set so that they can have a cinematic, set piece in the evening.
Which is nice. One thing I really did appreciate about the film, however, is that they didn't make Toad dumb. He's got, that nice I'll distract the guards, he's genuinely helpful. And so there's the thing with the bouquet at the end. He's competent. He's in on it. He's aiding and abetting Peach. It would have been so easy to make him just, the dumb sidekick character.
Yeah.
And the fact that he is competent and he helps motivate the story and elements, I really found that refreshing.
Although, being a quote-unquote kids movie that's computer animated, that's modern, that's vaguely a family comedy, you kind of have to have a short, loud comedic relief character.
Go on, give me the other examples.
Olaf from Frozen, the alien thingies from Toy Story.
Wow.
The claw. The Minions from The Minions. The Minions 2. Despicable Me. Despicable Me 2. Despicable Me 3. Electric Boogaloo.
Now, this is a TikTok reference just for me.
Yep.
Did you know that Dan Povenmire created The Minions?
He can't keep getting away with it.
He doesn't want to be getting away with it either, but I'm just here to perpetuate it in my own small way.
If I had a coin every time Dan Povenmire invented something, I'd be rich.
Pretty banger Doofenshmirtz, honestly.
That's closer than usual. I haven't done it in a while. I'm recovering from a cold, so I just sort of went for it.
Yeah.
I feel like it needs to be just a little bit higher.
Well, I would stay tuned. I can't wait for, Doofenshmirtz to do the Phineas and Ferb Qrivia when we inevitably get around to it.
Oh, buddy, Poven buddy. Our unfair questions, we're coming for you.
How cool would that be?
A
and
man
they'd probably
who
do it too.
Worked for 10 years to make a TV show 10 years ago and definitely remembers every single thing about the TV show he was busy making and not watching.
Oh my God. It's my turn for a really out of pocket segue.
Yeah.
So he's got a new show called Hamster and Gretel, and his daughter voices Gretel.
Nice.
And so she was just nominated for a voice acting Emmy, and there's like he put a video on his YouTube, and oh my god, that gave me serotonin for like 24 full hours.
These bloody nepo babies.
Oh, but she worked so hard. That's
America
a different
is such
can
a
of fish.
silly place that instead of being, mildly upset or doing something about that nepotism thing, they just invented a stupid word and moved on.
Nipple baby.
Oh, yes. It's one of the phrases that makes me very frustrated, like a mile.
A conversation for a different day is the conversation that's currently happening with his name is eluding me, Levy. He played Shazam.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Yeah, so he's had some commentary around.
Was he about vaccines?
No, well, I don't necessarily know, but at the moment it's about James Gunn and his casting, particularly the use of his brother Sean in a lot of elements. And I mean, Sean generally does most of his work as stand-in for, you know,
or mocap.
Yeah, so he stands in for Mocap, for Rocket. He did the Weasel in the Suicide Squad. And then, he's got some on-screen stuff. And I didn't realise this. At some point, him and Jennifer Holland got married.
James Gunn and Jennifer Holland, yeah.
Who did I? Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, it was just slightly
clarification. And so,
yeah.
but, she was cast in a lot of projects of his before. And someone brought this up in the Facebook comments that I definitely shouldn't have been looking in, but was anyway. It's like Tarantino using the same 5 actors again.
Yeah, but they're not related to him.
Yeah, and so, but it just was an interesting thing for me.
Yeah, where's the line between giving your buddies work, your family work, or just finding creatives that you sort of click with and know, hey, this person's good, I know what they're good at, and putting them in the places where they're good makes this creative thing better and makes the making of it easier. And
so I think it's one of those things is that, all relations put into films are nepotism, but not all nepotism is
bad.
Yeah, I'm not ready to hang my hat on that, but I think that's what I'm angling at because, Sean Gunn has been good in everything that I've seen him in.
And I think that's the crude test of nepotism is are they actually good in it?
Yeah.
Do they justify their being a part of it? And what's the other Gunn's name? Not James Gunn. Sean Gunn, thank you. Sheen Gunn is just good. He was good as Kraglin. He's good as the Weasel. And he just got cast as a bigger villain in the new DC stuff.
Yeah, and so I think that's what has sort of set a lot of this off. Another example for me is Maya Hawke. She is a nepo baby.
Daughter of a power couple.
A power couple. So not just, nepo baby to the power of 1, nepo baby to the power of 2. But
the wings of a hawk. The raw talent of a Uma Thurman.
But so Stranger Things, Do Revenge. She's really good in those.
She was really good in the 5 seconds of Tarantino's last movie that was pretty mid. The 5 seconds of that she was in.
I don't watch Tarantino movies because they're too scary. Oh. I've started saying that ironically, and now I'm in trouble.
Someone showed me a chart with that sort of stuff, and it came to mind about dabbing. It's like, step 1 is hating on a new trend because it's this dumb new trend. Step 2, engaging with the new trend ironically. Oh, I'm just going to dab on this, watch me go. Step 3, ironically, not just legitimately enjoying the trend.
For me at the moment it's shuckers, and it has been for almost 12 months now. I would just chuck a shucker.
Hit him with the shucker.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's problematic as a 28-year-old to keep doing that, but here we are. So the end of the movie, the brothers move to the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yep.
And apparently the toads are just clogging toilets all over the place because they are busy.
I'm not going to think about that. I like that in the big climactic battle. Okay, we'll run through the end of the movie because I've got a couple of thoughts here. Firstly, why was Mario necessary at all? Peach just ruffle stomps all of Bowser's forces single-handedly.
Well, the problem there is she is struck at one point and she loses her power up and she doesn't have a backup power up.
Yeah.
So there is a point where she runs out of steam and that actually results in the cages being dropped to the lava before...
Yay!
Oh my god, that Luma!
Yeah.
Hashtag relatable, Luma.
You know why she didn't have backup power-ups?
Yeah.
So the movie can happen.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how all movies happen. So that's fine. The forced marriage thing, yeah, okay, it works as a story thing. Tanuki suit, Cinema Sins, not raccoon suit, Tanuki suit. And you can't hide behind your wall of, but that's just the joke, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about, like, Tanukis and, like...
Yeah. Much like reindeer, Tanukis are real.
Oh, there's a really great creator on TikTok and Shorts, Natural Habits, I don't know, but there's one that's like raccoons will communally use toilets, and then Tanukis are mistaken for raccoons, but they're more dog-like.
Oh.
And oh my god, I love those shorts.
Yeah. So that's all well and good. Bullet Bill, blah, 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 blah. Movie happens. They end up back in New York because they're playing from the same playbook.
New York.
Making bacon pancakes, making bacon pancakes.
Yeah, fair.
So previously in the movie we just watched, Luigi was the non-confident one. And Mario's like, don't worry, Luigi, stupid younger brother. As long as we're together, everything will be fine. Because Luigi has, gee willikers, I'm the scared one.
Not all younger siblings are the scared ones.
Emily doesn't afraid of anything.
Ha.
Except Tarantino movies, because that's canon now.
Yes, that is canon.
It's a canon event. You can't change it.
I'm also regularly scared of my own actions, but here we are.
And then, in the pizzeria, Mario's like, oh no, I'm having a third act crisis of confidence. Because I guess we need to pad the runtime, because I'm not the brother who has these issues. So why am I having these? But luckily a conveniently timed commercial is going to remind me of the power of checks notes. Brotherhood, friendship, defeating giant turts, eating
Stomping
power-ups,
a turkey.
Stomping it. Perchance.
Perchance.
You can't just keep saying perchance.
Stomping a turkey.
Much as a rich man regards a crime with a fine as merely a tax. Which is true, by the way, but that's a separate show. So why did Mario have a crisis of confidence?
I mean, I think, was his way getting anywhere? Was he actually succeeding?
Yes. He punched a bullet bill in the eye.
He did punch a bullet bill in the eye, but now he's brought ungodly otherworld troubles onto Brooklyn.
The thing that I love about New York, especially in the Ghostbusters movie, is New York's dirty and grimy as shit, but they've got to hey, only we can beat up on each other. Screw you, ghosts. Yeah. And then when they bash into the museum.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think that occurring is going to be that weird for New York.
No, but I mean, how guilty would you feel if you brought a bomber bill down on Melbourne?
Depends which suburb.
Reza, it can take Reza.
As long as it hits the real estate agents in Reza.
Oh, big if true. It true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
The one scene that I really liked in this movie, though, was when the dog shows back up and gives Luigi the begrudging nod of respect.
Yeah.
That's actually good.
I don't respect what a human thinks. I 100% respect what a dog thinks. So I thought that was nice because, I mean, and the big kids, the little kids, everyone loves a dog.
I just wish they didn't pull the dog up in the first act by the overalls.
Oh,
yeah, that frustrated me.
Yeah.
And sorry, not the overalls, the
plunger.
Yeah, that frustrated me. That's right, because I'm like, you're wearing overalls. Just use those instead. Then you can do a funny, clothes swap gag.
Yeah, but no, it's got to be the plunger because they're plumbers. Yeah, I think it was very enjoyable. I think its success is well deserved.
I think its success is adequately deserved. I think someone imported a bunch of other scripts into a blender and then sprinkled some Mario dust on top of it. And they got lucky that Illumination's very good at animation. Mm-hmm. And the movie resulted doesn't suck.
Some of the voice casting, though, like we've spoken about Chris Pratt, but so...
Here for Charlie Day.
Charlie Day is good. Anya Taylor-Joy is good.
I like Anya Taylor-Joy. She's a great actor, but I'm not sure she works as Peach in this context.
I don't know if she would have been the person that I went to for that necessarily. Jack Black is #iconic.
Yeah, he just keeps bringing it.
So that was great. Keegan Michael Key, Seth Rogen, and Fred Armisen just do...
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Ooh. Which one?
Well, Seth Rogen just shows up and plays Seth Rogen, but also he was paid to just show up and be Seth Rogen, so I can't really blame him for that.
That's what it says in the box.
Yeah, but Keegan-Michael Key is great. Fred Armisen's a very good dry comic, and he's also a really good drummer and musician.
Really?
YouTube recommends
Maleep knows.
Not being able to sleep, yeah. Because he's, I think he's SNL alumni, so he's all up in the New York comedy scene and all that. But here's this great, it's like a 10 or 15 minute piece where he's like playing drums and talking about the history of punk music, but it's also got jokes and it's funny.
That's pretty neat.
But he can just bust out high speed punk grooves on the drums.
Respectable.
Yeah.
So what we've figured out talking it out today is that the 2023 movie is the 1993 Super Mario movie that has been palette swapped and animated.
It really is, like, and it's more so than when you say, oh, Point Break and Fast and Furious are the same movie. No, so many things in this overlap. Yeah,
it's pretty uncanny how things evolve, and I think it's really interesting because the 1993 movie is a certified box office bomb. However, it's got a little bit of a cult following, obviously got a lot of reruns, and was critical in the whole era of you can't turn games into movies. So a $42 to $48 million budget, which, for 1993.
Fair bit.
Whoa.
Reagan's America.
And so box office was...
Yeah, I know. It was George H.W. Bush's America. Shut up.
Good on the self-correct, my dude. So box office was 38.9, so it did not break even. But, had a lot of rerun value, was very much in the conversation a lot. And so Bob Hoskins, who...
Legend.
Which we both adore him because of another movie called Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yep.
We have John Leguizamo. Fiona Shaw. Aunt Petunia is here.
Oh, Fiona Shaw. Yeah, she gets around a bit.
I adore her, and I had not realised she was in it till my most recent rewatch.
Yeah, she's also in Killing Eve, isn't she?
Yes, so she's in Killing Eve. Yeah, so that's pretty good. So
I also got the same vibes as this when we saw Black Panther in the cinema. Because I'm like, why do I feel like I'm watching The Phantom Menace? Especially the third act. It just, like, there's a plane battle. There's two people with the same but opposite-ish powers battling in an industrial section that makes no sense. Like...
But I have a
bit of a land army thing going on as well.
Have a statement for you.
Uh-huh.
Phantom Menace, it really had great music.
It did, didn't it?
It did, didn't it?
So, finally, Emily, just give us like a 2-minute pitch for Two Super, Two Mario, because this will get a sequel. It made too much money.
So, I know you've told me to make a pitch, but I'm just going to froth over the fact that I want my favourite GameCube game.
Do you want me to do the thing?
Do the thing.
Welcome to Isle Delfino!
Not the correct one.
What?
Oh my god, Luigi's Mansion!
Oh, yeah.
Yes!
No, you're right. No, that's my bad.
Okay,
everyone.
So
Mea
I was
culpa.
thinking, I was like, maybe I regret this because Wind Waker is bomb.
How could Mario do Simpsons Hit and Run, though?
Oh my god. But I loved Luigi's Mansion, and I believe Professor Egad was in this movie.
Was he?
Yeah, he was in the background, and so he both made the flood for Isle Delfino, Mario Sunshine.
Yes.
And of course, he's also instrumental in Luigi's Mansion. So we will inevitably get Luigi's Mansion. That was one thing I was worried about with this movie, is that they burned through so much
Yeah,
IP
because
so
they
quickly.
almost did Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, and so you go through the cuts, you go through Rainbow Road, they chewed up a lot of IP very quickly. But, I mean, that's the great thing about a massive universe, is that there's still plenty to go. But I am frothing over the potential for Luigi's Mansion because, you know, I think the ghosts are so good. The story's already there, you know. And, you know, Charlie Day is Luigi. Go ham, my dude.
And Mario's not in it.
Mario is absent. No, Mario is in it very briefly because isn't he captured?
Yeah, when you get down to the basement, you can look through a lion's head and you can see that Mario's captured, and then you rescue him at the very end.
Yeah. So, and, you know, seeing Luigi shine a little bit.
Yeah.
That's just fun. So, I don't have a pitch for you. I just have me frothing over the idea of Luigi's Mansion as an animated film.
All right, I'm going to do a very quick pitch as a Hollywood hack sort of thing. It's like, all right, these kids love this Mario movie, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to split Mario and Luigi up again. But, sir, they're better together. Shut up, I'm an executive. So, Mario's going to go to Isle Delfino, and we're just going to do Super Mario Sunshine, and Luigi's going to just go do Luigi's Mansion. But, sir, we could get 2 movies. Shut up. It's an A and a B story. It's script writing, kid. Get used to it.
It's kind of like those 2 houses that are like on an LA beach. That one's like painted all black and one's like Barbie pink. The Rosa Diaz, Stephanie Beatriz
delineation.
is like you have Isle Delfino, and it's all bright and colourful and lovely. Although it doesn't that revolve around mostly an oil spill. Put that out of my brain. And then you just have Luigi, who's so stressed he's close to death at any minute in the Scary Mansion.
It's, you know what kids really love? Tonal whiplash.
Well, they must have, because that Luma. The sweet release of death.
Oh. Did you know in Super Mario Sunshine, and you do, by the way, I'm just setting this up for the audience, who's the antagonist? Oh, spoilers for Super Mario Sunshine. Once you take off the fake Mario mask, who's the antagonist?
I can't remember, because all I can remember is the Living End single that we played aggressively when that came out.
Back when we had CD singles.
Yeah.
That's all we could afford.
Please remind me, who is the villain?
So, spoilers.
Oh, it's Bowser!
Almost.
Bowser Jr.!
Correct. And I bring it up because Bowser Jr.'s entire actions is to screw Mario off and kidnap Princess Peach, because Bowser told Bowser Jr. Princess Peach is his mother, and at that point in the game where they're having this dialogue, Peach is just chilling in a cosmic jacuzzi on a floaty ring.
And she don't deny it.
She don't deny it. Like, the camera cuts to her and there's space for her to have dialogue. Nope. Because I think she's voice acted in that game.
I can't honestly remember, but either way, iconic, Peach. Iconic. I'm here for it. So we just have me frothing over Luigi's Mansion. You have a nice dichotomous movie mogul thing going on.
Blech.
So yeah, we're ready to roll, and we're gonna, forget the MCU. It's gonna be the MLCU, the Mario Luigi.
Well, no, his name's Mario.
Mario and Mario Luigi.
The M squared CU.
Sorry, Mario and Luigi Mario.
Correct. Canon.
It is a canon event. It is unstoppable.
Well, given the news that's come out, we're just going to have the NCU. Nintendo Cinematic Universe, because they're making a Zelda movie. But you know what that inevitably means?
What does it mean?
After 10 Nintendo movies, we're just going to have Super Smash Brothers, the movie.
I hate you, but it's true.
The question is, though, whether they all punch each other and then go and punch a bigger enemy threat, or whether they just commit to punching each other.
It'll be heroes versus villains. It'll be like Civil War, because that, Zelda versus Ridley is going to be fun.
I think it's going to be a bunch of them get mind controlled and you have to fight them. You have to do what Black Widow does to Hawkeye and just do a
reset,
cranial cognitive recalibration, aka concussion.
Just punch him. Alrighty. Well, that runs us out for the 2023 The Super Mario Brothers movie.
It's fine.
It's a fun ride in your Mario Karts.
Yep.
Yep. That is this for Chats and Facts, the Qrivia cast.
Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah.
Wow.
Bye.